I'll never forget growing up and seeing all these guys who were considered attractive. They were considered hot. And all these girls would literally simp for them like crazy. From my school, I would go to school and all these popular kids were getting so much attention from girls. And then just hearing about all these celebrities that girls found were hot. And it really just, it didn't irritate me. It didn't invoke jealousy. What it made me do was want to become that guy. I wanted to be the guy that girls said was hot. And nowadays, especially on social media, a lot of girls are making suggestions like this. So without further ado, today I'm going to tell you specifically how to look hot as a guy. Let's get it. To go without saying that to be considered the guy who is hot, you gotta look hot as well. Now, what does an attractive hot guy look like? Well, it's kind of the basic stuff. First of all, you need a female gaze physique. So you gotta have very strong defined shoulders, an insane six-pack, a strong chest, defined back, and somewhat defined legs, but I've never really heard a girl simp for the legs except for the bodybuilding chicks. And then obviously the basics, you know, like having muscular forearms, defined jawline. The neck is something girls find super sexy, but they will never mention it. It's something they more subconsciously notice. A good hairstyle, and overall looking better than 90% of the male population. This will automatically make you look hot, but the thing is, there's so many other different things we have to do to actually be that hot guy. This is actually probably the biggest one that no guys really talk about, but it's going to be pre-selection. So if a girl sees you getting attention from other girls, whatever this could be. So maybe you have a lot of attractive girls on your Instagram, maybe you're always going out with other girls. Like some of my Chad friends, one thing they actually do is to get more attractive women, they actually friend zone a couple average looking girls, and then they will go out with these girls, and then they get sworn with other girls because these girls deem this guy good enough to hang out with them. And girls are naturally very hypergamous in nature, so they want the best guy that other girls want. So even if a 5 out of 10 girl is attracted to you, the 9 out of 10 girl will typically also be attracted to you. Now, how do you actually incorporate this in real life? Well, there's a couple of different things. Like I just mentioned, you can get average looking female friends, go out with them, you can do some photo shoots with attractive girls, you can date girls casually and then post pictures of you guys online on your Instagram. These things all help. Or one thing I've noticed lately that works for me is actually like the walking videos, for example. That is pre-selection. Showing other people that other girls find you attractive basically is pre-selection. If you're a hot guy but then a girl goes to your Instagram and you don't display your attractiveness, she's automatically going to think you're more of an average guy. But the opposite is true as well. Like, let's say you're more of an average looking guy, you're just a little bit above average, and then a girl looks at your Instagram and you have insane photos, you're instantly gonna receive Chad status just because your Instagram. I've always told you guys, please listen, this is literally like the most important thing. If you don't have a solid Instagram, none of this stuff is really gonna work. But you want to do some social media frauding. Now, what do I mean by this? I mean that if every single day you don't look super diced, super shredded, you find a time where you get the perfect lighting, the perfect pump, you post a photo onto your Instagram, and then this creates more of the illusion that you always look like that. Same thing with the face. Some people, they've got better angles than others. Like, I look really good on this side. My profile view is arguably my best looking view, so I will try to display that side of myself on my social media. Get the best, most intense angles on my face with a really good photographer, and this is going to fraud you to look more attractive. You're not photoshopping. There's no fake BS going on, but you are simply displaying your best angles, your best physique, and for everybody to see it. And it's instantly going to make you come off as the hot guy. You need to do things that hot, attractive men would be doing. So, what do attractive guys typically do? Now, you can go based off the stereotypes where they're going to be surfing, they're going to be playing basketball, skateboarding, they're going to be building businesses. Things like this are actually attractive. Socializing, going out. This is more so what attractive people do. If you're anything like me, man, I grew up obsessed with Call of Duty Zombies, NBA 2K, Grand Theft Auto, and I wouldn't go out. I wouldn't have these hobbies, these activities that other kids were doing that were deemed attractive. I would just stay inside all the time. So after I actually became more attractive, then I didn't really know how to behave as an attractive guy. So once you level up your looks, you also need to level up your lifestyle, and that means that you have to be more active. You have to do more social things, because this is typically what more attractive people are going to be doing. And it goes without saying that more attractive guys are also typically going to be a little bit taller. I mean, look at Nate Jacobs from Euphoria, Jacob Elordi. All these girls are simping for him, and he's 6'5". They've also done a Bumble study, and most girls, like 90%, they put their filters on a 6'6" man, which is insanely rare. But the thing is about eye growth, it's only 60 to 80% genetic, 20 to 40% environmental. And people keep spamming me with all the cope in the comments like, oh no, it's all genetics. It's all genetics. It takes 2 seconds of research on Google to see that it's not all genetics. It's 60 to 80% genetics. But hey man, if you want to argue, that's on you. But I believe the number one reason most people don't reach their high growth potential is because nutrient deficiencies. 92% of Americans across all social classes are deficient in basic vitamins and minerals. Now, whenever this happens, IGF-1 human growth hormone shuts down, closing your growth plates, meaning that you can no longer grow taller. So the best solution is Titan Growth 2.0 on my website, kalosique.com, which has 500 to 1000% of all your daily required nutrients so that you can grow as tall as possible. Don't forget to pick up Hypno Sleep while you're there, which contains GABA, which boosts HGH by up to 400%, valerian root and melatonin, all scientifically proven to boost HGH and help you knock out like that. Don't forget to join Kalos VIP. This is my school Looks Maxing with my 3-hour Looks Maxing Masterclass, 2-hour High Growth Masterclass. Right now, I'm working on my Female Nature Masterclass. Every 2 weeks, we hop on a VIP group call with me and all my students, answering any questions, going over curriculum, everything. You gotta join now. Price is going up soon. I will see you inside. You know how girls will go out in public, they've got their asses out, titties going out like crazy, and guys go nuts over this. You will see like the most average looking girl, but if she looks more promiscuous, then men typically view her as more attractive. Now you can actually do the exact same thing. Now women, they don't really get triggered from just being outside shirtless all the time. That looks too douchey. But there's also a saying where the equivalent of that is going to be a man in a tailored suit. And not just that, but more high quality clothing. So if you are outside, you're going on a date, you're wearing all these tailored button-ups, tailored suit pants, you've got nice shoes on, you've got the tailored suit, you're gonna look way more handsome than just the average looking guys. And in addition to that, you gotta learn more so things that hotter guys are gonna be doing, like rolling up the sleeves, taking off the shirt whenever you're playing basketball outside, things like this, showing off the abs, just more subtle things to show how attractive you are that more attractive men are typically going to do, because someone who just spends all day inside gaming, he's not going to have that intuition to roll up the sleeves and do these basic things that other women see in attractive guys. The Looks Maxing community, I actually think this is hilarious. There's one video online, it's like the Jester versus the Chad, and it's showing these guys trying to make cringy jokes, and the girls don't like this guy. And this guy actually included me in his video, which is why I saw it. But there's a term known as the Jester in the Looks Maxing community, and this is the funny guy. He's always cracking jokes. Don't be like that, man. Like, no hot guy is going to be cracking jokes all the time. And here's the thing. You do need to be funny. A lot of guys, you say, oh no, you don't need to be funny. Just looks is all that matters. You do need to be funny, but you need to know how to actually be funny. So more hot guy humor is going to be more dark humor. It's going to be more sarcastic, a little more perverted, because you can get away with jokes like that. Think almost like Ryan Reynolds. Like, some of the jokes he makes, it's funny, but it's more of in a dark, perverted way, and that's kind of the humor girls like. Sarcasm, kind of, if she's not saying that you're an asshole, you're a douche from your humor alone, you're not doing it right. So you gotta really work on this, and I can't tell you how to do it. It's gonna come natural, but you gotta just practice in nature more than anything. Last but not least is going to be the car that you drive. Now, the car that you drive is going to be associated with your attractiveness. Now, I travel all the time, so that's different. No one's going to judge me based off the car that I'm not driving, because currently my car is actually in the West. But if you actually want to come off as the hot guy, you need an attractive car. So you can't just be driving old beat up Toyota, and that doesn't mean you have to get a new fancy car. What this does mean though is that you need a very good looking car, a badass car. So I love older cars actually. Like, I used to drive a Saab 9.3, it was turbocharged, black leather seats. It was one of the coolest cars. It was in perfect condition, and something like this is a Swedish car. It's so unique. No girls will ever see this. Or I also like the old luxury cars, like the old BMWs, the old Mercedes, or you can even get the newer ones, you know, like a new Mercedes, new BMW. I love Japanese cars as well, you know, like a Nissan Z. Those are very sick. So you want to just drive something that you really resonate, that is just really dope. Like, if you're more just sporty, get a really cool sports car. And like I said, it doesn't have to be new. If you're more classy, get a luxury car, and it still does not have to be new. Just don't drive anything. Like, avoid the smart cars, the Priuses, things like this. Something that might be be a little bit better in the gas mileage. It might be a little bit more reliable, but it's not going to be the coolest, man. So that's it. Subscribe if you're new. I love you with all my heart. Peace.